Now I'd like to take you through some of the Epson projector settings that you can find on the remote control. This is the large remote control, the one that's tall and thin, and there are some buttons on the front of the remote control that I'd like to take you through. First of all, going from 1 to 0, starting with 1, going all the way up through 9 and then to 0, I'm going to take you through each of these settings and show you what it does. First of all, there's AV mute. That's the number 1 button. This is what AV mute does. It actually mutes the volume and gives you a black screen. When you press it again, your screen comes back up. Freeze is one, though, that's used all the time. When you press freeze, if you're taking attendance on your computer screen and you'd like the students to have some seat work to do, then you would bring up the seat work on the screen and you'd show that up on your projector. Then you'd go over to your desk and take attendance. And as a teacher, you can freeze the screen for the students while you have something else up at your desk. So for example, you're in Zangle taking attendance, while the students, as you can see in the top right corner, they have a screen frozen onto the whiteboard. When you're done with the frozen screen, you just press the number 2 button, which is the freeze button on your remote control. So you'll press freeze, and then when you press freeze again, freeze is gone in the top right corner. Now let's say that I was over at my desk and I had a different screen up, and I'd like to press freeze now and go back to the screen that I had up at my desk. So if I wanted to, I could freeze this screen now as well. So I just press freeze, and now this is frozen, and the students would be seeing this while I'm doing something different, preparing the next lesson at my desk. The next button, number 3, is user. And this will give you user-defined settings such as closed captions. If you had somehow set up the closed captioning, you could choose CC1, which is closed caption 1, and you would press that, and then if you went up to return, it would take you to your closed caption settings, which you could change right here on the fly by pressing the user button, which is button number 3 on the remote control. It would take you right to those closed caption settings. Now I can return and press user again on the remote, and I can turn them off. Now to get out of this screen, you'd press the escape key on your remote control twice, and you're out of the menu. The next button, number 4, is auto, which will automatically run auto setup. I'll do that one more time. Pressing the number 4 key, which is auto, takes you to the auto setup. Aspect is the next button. That's button number 5. Aspect will give you widescreen, and it will actually toggle through all of the different screen settings, the different aspect ratios. So for example, this is widescreen, 16 by 9. This is full screen, which gives you a little more at the top. Zoom would actually zoom in on the screen and give you pretty much the same setting as full regular would. This is native resolution, so this is the resolution that your monitor screen natively would look best on your computer. The next one is back to normal. So it toggles through normal, 16 by 9 widescreen, full, zoom, and native. So I'm going to go back to normal. That's the default setting. So we're back to normal. Color mode will toggle through all the different color modes on your projector. This is presentation mode, which is the default. If I press it again, we get theater mode. Wait a few seconds to see how it adjusts. If you like theater mode, you can stick with that. Pressing it again, you have photo mode, and you can see sort of a snapshot of what that would look like. Pressing photo again, it would then take you to Srgb, which is red, green, blue. Not a big difference there. Pressing it again, you now get Blackboard mode, and you can see it washes out a lot of the color. This would be, if you, I guess, the equivalent of a Blackboard setting. And pressing it one more, you get whiteboard. This is the whiteboard setting. Pressing it one more time, you get dynamic, and then we're back to where we started from in presentation mode, which I think is actually probably the best happy medium of them all. So I'm going to stick with presentation mode. Next is up, which is number 7. I don't really see anything that up is doing, so I'm going to move to the next setting, which is number 8 on your remote control. Number 8 is one I use all the time. It's the zoom in button. Zoom in, if you press it, will zoom in on whatever you have on your screen. Okay, now I'm showing a web page, and on this web page maybe I want to zoom in on something in particular, and then as you go down on your remote control you'll see the up, down, left, and right arrows. If you go up you can zoom in on something particular. Scrolling down you hit the down arrow and it scrolls down the web page all the way down, and you can pick whatever you want to zoom in on. If you want to pick out something to the left of the page, you'll take the left arrow and it will then scan over to the left. Right arrow takes you to the right. Up arrow takes you up. So using in unison the zoom in button, which is number 8 on your remote control keypad, and 0, which is zoom out, so the one directly below, you'll see that there is a, right underneath the 0 key, there's a zoom out button or a minus sign. Now we're zooming out. Clicking the number 8, we're zooming in. Zoom out, zoom in. Left arrow takes us to the left. Right arrow takes us to the right. Up arrow, down arrow. To get out of the zoom feature completely, press the escape key and you're back to where you started from. Now the next button, if you zoom in on something, let's go back to the zoom and let's press the number 8 key, and we've now zoomed in on this section here called interactive whiteboards. And now if I press the pointer button, the pointer is attached to button number 9. So you'll notice that when you go to number 9, you'll see right above that it says the word pointer. Now if I press pointer and I use the up, down, left, and right arrows, I can position the pointer wherever I want it. So if I do the left arrow and hold down the left arrow, you'll see that I now have the arrow pointing right at interactive whiteboards. And if I want to zoom in a little bit more, I can. I can then tap the pointer button, bring it right back up, and position that pointer right before class starts. I'll put that pointer wherever I want it to be. So I'm going to have that pointer right here so that I'm pointing right at interactive whiteboards. So that's the pointer. There's also a help arrow, which is the green arrow. If you press the help arrow on your remote control, you'll see that there's a help section. You can use the up, down, left, and right arrows. I'm going to use the down arrow to scroll down through all the different help sections. Like the color tone is unusual, or the image is projected as a trapezoid. It will tell you how to deal with that type of problem. The next button on the remote control is right below that. It's the volume, left and right. So using the left volume and the right volume, you can actually control the volume that's coming through your projector speakers. And then of course there's the menu button directly below that. These are your menu settings, and then the escape key, if you press it, will get you out of your menu. And that's a look at some of the features on your remote control.